Welcome back to Championship Court as we get set for our women's singles gold medal match. The top seed, Megan Fudge, outlasting Alex Strong in the semifinals in 3 games, 15-6, 13-15, and 15-6. Meanwhile, Jorja Johnson, she was pushed by Judith Castillo to 3 as well, 10-5, 15-12, and then 15-13, taking down Castillo, who won this tournament a year ago and was coming off of a gold medal in Punta Gorda to open up the 2024 season. And guys, this one should be a really good, really tight matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got 2 players on the court that move extremely well. They're consistent, deep balls to each corner of the court. You know, it's going to be tough for both of these, but Dom, like we talked about in the opener, Johnson is strong on the forehand side, but she makes more mistakes. Fudge is going to be looking to exploit that. Yeah, and right now, I think for both of these ladies, it's about execution. They know each other's game really well. They've seen it. They've played against each other. So when you have that familiarity with each other, it's about executing right now. And so it's going to be who can execute better, who can execute sooner. Because like Chad, you hit on in the Open, it's rally scoring. Things can get away from you really quick in rally scoring. So you need to focus up early.
Megan Fudge, the top seed to serve first. Fudge in the black and yellow at the top of the screen. Jorja Johnson in the white and green at the bottom. Oh, what a shot by Fudge to start it off.
There's the drop, right? So Johnson comes in on the forehand on that one, but what does Megan Fudge do? She goes cross-court, drop, gets Johnson moving.
Error off of the forehand side.
Yeah, just sprayed that one wide. She's trying to approach behind that one, ran through it, caught it a little late.
Fudge out on fire to start this first game.
Execution right now, right? So she's executing right away. She's getting what she wants, and she's finding those corners. She's found both sidelines here early on.
Winner from Fudge in the first come on of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was a good approach there from Johnson, but she didn't get anything on this forehand volley and then had to slide back to the middle to try to cover both lines. Excellent roll cross court from Fudge.
Johnson finally stops the run with a point and a side out.
Well, that was a better choice to approach there. It was a good deep ball to the backhand side of Fudge. Johnson closed well, absorbed that volley a little bit more.
1-4.
Well, that came off a very aggressive Jorja Johnson serve. So she really served aggressively there, caused a really short return, and is easily able to get to the kitchen line right there and put pressure on.
2 quick points for Jorja Johnson. 3 quick points as the return sails long.
But that rally scoring right now, it's how quickly that gap has closed.
For all.
And that's the deception of the Johnson forehand. It didn't look like she hit it that hard, but because it's flatter and it slides through the court, the pace is very hard to adjust to.
And right there again, Chad, right on cue, she takes pace off that backhand right there and forcing Fudge to have to really hit through that. She doesn't and is a little short. It's a 5-0 run here for Johnson.
Johnson has taken her first lead of the match, serving at 5-4.
Side out.
Service error, side out, 5-all.
Little lapsing concentration there.
That's something else that you can't have with the rally scoring that you could potentially get away with before.
Yeah, not at all. Every point matters now.
Side out, point 6. Call stands.
So the call was the The ball from Fudge was long, side out to Johnson.
6-5.
6-5.
Just floated that one a little too high to Megan Fudge. She was going to the right spot, but just left it up a little high, and that's the margin for error. You can't leave that high. She has to keep that down, and that's not an easy shot cross your body.
Side out.
Unlucky.
Point 6.
Off the net cord, left it up for Fudge.
Yeah, Johnson had control of that point right there. Set it up nicely with a sharp angled forehand. Little unlucky with catching the net cord, but a good adjustment from Fudge, putting that one out of reach.
6-7.
Side out.
Fudge covers court just about as well as anyone, but Johnson put it just out of reach.
Well, that's tough right there. If Fudge is going to go down the line right there, it's almost a do or die, because if Johnson can get to it, she's so good, she's going to create an angle, and Fudge is on the far sideline. So that's tough right there. I'd rather see Megan Fudge pull that back cross court, try and drop that in.
Sprays the backhand wide, side out.
Timing was off a little bit there. She got the shorter ball from Fudge.
7-8. Side out.
A couple of uncharacteristic errors by Fudge off of the forehand side.
Well, she's attempting to come in, and instead of hitting it and coming in, she's hitting it at the same time as she's moving. Momentum carries that ball just a little too deep.
Easy put away at the kitchen line for Jorja Johnson. She has her largest lead of the match at 10-7.
Well, the difference right now is that Johnson is able to get those deeper balls. She's hitting it in the back third of the court, where a lot of Fudge's balls are coming, mid-court, allowing Johnson to move up, put the pressure on.
Quick start. So, folks, I'm going to put you to work here. Pull out your phones, and we want you to follow.
Jorja Johnson leading in this first game of the women's singles gold medal match, 10-7, as Megan Fudge calls a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well with our Tervis hydration break. We knew this was going to be a tactical battle between Fudge and Johnson. Jorja got off to a little bit of a slow start, but she's flipped the script. How has she executed her strategy here over the last 5 or so points?
Well, like I was talking about before we came into the booth here, she's hitting deeper balls. She's hitting that back third of the court. Fudge isn't able to step inside the baseline to take any time away, and she's playing a lot of these shots from deep behind the baseline. It's allowing Johnson to move up on the shorter mid-court balls that's producing from Fudge.
And Megan Fudge has to find the corners right now. She's not. She's really trying to drive through Jorja Johnson. Early on in the match, she was dropping to the sidelines and getting that ball down, where she's rolling that corner to corner. But right now, she's trying to drive through her. Jorja Johnson, too big, too athletic. Every time this ball's there up, she's creating a better angle.
Fudge got off to a 4-0 start, but since then, it has been a 10-3 run in favor of the 17-year-old from Morton Beach, Florida, as she's taken a 3-point advantage in this women's singles gold medal match. First to 15, win by 2, have to win on serve. That's a better angle there from Fudge.
Well, that's it right there. That's how she got that 4-0 lead at the beginning. She's just got to find the touch again.
8-10.
Fudge was in the right spot, just couldn't make the pickup.
As that big forehand from Johnson catches the baseline and pushes Fudge back. Again, trying to go down the line. Johnson able to take it out of the air, create the angled volley. That's close on the sideline.
Side out.
But next one deep.
One more ball's potentially the same result. Side out, 9-11. 10-11 as the return sails long.
Yeah, big deep serve there from Fudge.
Oh, she almost caught it on the paddle right there and threw it cross court.
Referee timeout. The out call has been challenged.
And a challenge that one from Johnson. It looked like it just missed wide.
Free timeout here, regardless. You have the 3 challenges. So again, if you think it's close, maybe don't want to burn a timeout right here, even though she's got a couple. She's going to use a challenge here, give you almost a little longer timeout with the challenge usually, give you about another 30 seconds or so. So not a bad decision here from Jorja Johnson to take this.
Now, Fudge took a timeout trailing 7-10, but since then has gone on a run. Should this call stand, it will tie this game at 11-all.
Tough to see from that angle. That looked like it might just catch the line.
It feels like over these last 4 points that Johnson has been forced to try and slim those margins and paint those lines because Fudge has found better angles coming out of her timeout.
Oh, yeah, 100%. She's found what she had success with early on in this match to gain the 4-0 lead.
Well, that looks like it catches the line.
Could be a good challenge here for Johnson. But again, yeah, she's found what got her that 4-0 lead early on, dipping the ball to the corners, getting it down at the feet of Jorja Johnson. Jorja's so tall, right? And she's got good length. If you put a ball up to her, she's got strength too. She put that ball away.
Yeah,
so the call was overturned. Instead of being 11-all, it is now 12-10. Johnson on serve, just 3 points away from taking game number 1.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little adjustment here from Johnson as well. She's kind of drifted to the kitchen line the last couple of points. She needs to get it up there just a little bit quicker. And there it is. She gets up there.
On cue.
Puts the pressure on. She's now taking that volley in a better position, can really control that kitchen line.
13-10.
13-10 for Johnson.
Oh, what a volley.
Johnson read it perfectly, and it brings up game point.
Yeah, Jorja Johnson never got out of control right there. She was in complete control, body and position there. Great job giving her a 14-10 lead here. Thought Fudge had her on the one cross court to her backhand, but Johnson did a good job of controlling that, punching that back towards the sideline and baseline. So we'll give her a game point here.
When she, on that backhand volley to set up the cross there from Fudge, she added a little bit of side spin on it. So once that ball hit, it kicked further out. Fudge wasn't able to get outside that ball enough to really bring it back cross court. It ended up going more middle, and Johnson there to control it and finish.
Johnson looking for her first medal on the APP Tour this season. Fudge took home a silver in the first tournament of the year in Punta Gorda. Fudge also silvered last year in Sacramento as well.
In singles.
In singles, yes. Yes, in singles.
Because Johnson won a couple of medals, a couple of golds.
This is the singles we're talking about, so singles, singles to singles.
In Punta Gorda.
So here's your spot, Chad, that you hit on in the Open, where an individual gets to 14. Now you can only win on your serve.
14-10.
We'll see if Johnson can keep it going here.
Fudge, forehand winner, holds off Johnson for the moment.
But it's an excellent setup ball there from Fudge. She didn't try to hit as hard of a passing shot. That ball was down below the net, created the pop-up off the volley. And now we're in dangerous territory.
Right, because no matter what, Megan Fudge has 2 points. If she gives up a quote-unquote point here, it's just a side out, no point given.
Oh, what a backhand from Johnson.
Fudge wasn't able to really get up to the kitchen line on that approach. Gave Johnson a little bit more room to drop that ball down. Nice roll.
Game point number 2. This time Johnson converts as she takes game one 15-12 over the top seed Megan Fudge. We'll have game two action from the women's singles gold medal match when we come back here at the APP Sacramento Open.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
This is the good idea game point from game number one. Jorja Johnson sealing the deal over Fudge to take it 15-12.
The key there is she didn't come in on the first backhand. She came in on the second one. She realized she had a better approach on that second one. Great job by Johnson. Good execution.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that Jorja did there in game one is she was hitting those deeper balls to the back third, but then she also took pace off and used a couple of shorter angles and really, in essence, moved Fudge back, then brought her forward, threw the timing off, and made the adjustments after going down early.
Now Johnson just one game away from taking the gold medal here in Sacramento.
Time in.
Megan Fudge led all women on tour last year in medals, taking home 28 over the course of 2023 as that return sails long. The first point going the way of Jorja Johnson. And Fudge really found her stride in women's singles towards the latter half of the season last year.
Well, she made some adjustments toward the end of 2023 as well, as far as going with a little bit more pace on her ground strokes. Early on in 2023, she had, a little bit more slice and dice and some loop to it. Really worked on those ground strokes.
Great coverage from Fudge, but Johnson all over it.
She almost had a perfect drop, did Fudge, but again, Johnson is just really getting to the kitchen line and taking that drop away.
Good spot there for Fudge, going right into the body. Jams up Johnson. Both ladies going sideline to sideline.
Longest rally of the match so far. Fudge on the board here in game number two.
Wow.
Can't come up with the cut.
She was there. She got a good paddle on it, but just tried to cut it a little too much. I'd rather like to see her just volley that back, keep Jorja Johnson back, and pressure on.
Hey, that was so close on the net court. I wonder if Fudge thought it was going to hit. She tried to adjust.
Forehand rolled just wide. It's a 4-point lead for Johnson.
Yeah, and that's the kitchen control from Johnson. She forces Fudge to go for a little bit wider shot, try to paint the line there, because she's been able to cover that kitchen line so well.
Side out.
You see the change of pace right there, like you talked about, Chad, in between games, the change of pace. But that time it was from Megan Fudge. She changed the pace on the return to serve right there, a little shorter and lower.
Oh, big serve there from Fudge. Closing this gap.
3-5.
Just a 2-point deficit, 3-5.
Point.
Johnson.
You see Fudge look over at her corner, and she's got Alex Strong and Susanna Barr supporting her right now.
4-5.
Nodding her head, something they talked about in between.
Johnson going down the line. Fudge can't bring it back in the court.
Yeah, that ball just got a little bit behind Megan Fudge. Difficult to try to cut that ball once it's behind. Oh, what a get.
Oh, what a point.
So getting that ball in the back here, great job by Jorja Johnson, just keeping that in play, but Fudge made the adjustment from the last point. Instead of trying to cut that so much, she got on top of that forehand for the winner there.
Johnson comes up short. We are tied at 6 here in game number 2.
And again, Fudge took a little bit of pace off of that one, added some high, added some top spin. Just threw off the timing of Johnson.
Nice angle there from Johnson to get back on serve.
Yeah, good adjustment and good approach shot there from Johnson. Fudge has kind of changed the pace here a little bit. She's adding more loop to the ground strokes, but Johnson stepped in nicely, took that ball early.
Some space near the far sideline.
I heard about 2 people in the front row after Megan Fudge hit that ball. Oh, yes. Oh, no. That point was not over. Great get from Jorja Johnson. But Megan Fudge ends it and gets that side out.
Sprays the backhand wide. Fudge really starting to target that backhand of Jorja Johnson as Johnson takes a timeout, trailing 8-7.
But Johnson's done a good job of controlling the backhand a little more. When Fudge goes cross-court to that backhand, Jorja Johnson's starting to flatten it out down the line, and she's using it as an approach shot. So she's not trying to hit a winner with that backhand, which is much more controlled. She's pushing it down that sideline, and then she's using that to come in on Megan Fudge.
Keeping the timing off balance of Johnson.
Time in.
Fudge trying to reassert herself as one of the top players on tour. Took home those 28 medals a year ago. Coming off the silver, wants to pick up another one here in Sacramento. Better coverage there from Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, she had Megan Fudge pulled completely off the court with a great angle right there. Only thing Fudge could try and do is lob that back up and over and get in position.
Oh. Nice roll, very controlled there from Johnson.
The adjustment off the net cord right there is so difficult to do. Johnson just gets a paddle of it, and then Fudge has to try to scramble, get up there.
Just a little short as Johnson, the first one to 10 here in game number 2.
No, I was going to say that deep forehand from Johnson there going cross court from corner to corner gave her the time to get back into position. Hit a better approach shot. Fudge just got a little bit on the back foot.
Johnson right at the kitchen line, a fist pump. 3-point run for Jorja Johnson.
Yeah, Megan Fudge, no love off the tape right here as that ball just put away. Good job by Jorja Johnson of coming in at the right time. And what she's doing is she's almost waiting for Megan Fudge to hit a ball in the transition area that she has to come in on. She's not forcing herself to come in on anything. So it's a good job and good adjustment from Jorja Johnson, seeing that if she does come in at the wrong time, she's getting beat cross court. But again, she's made a good adjustment, coming in at the right time, and she's given herself another cushion here in game 2.
It's been a successful weekend here in Sacramento for Jorja Johnson. She picked up a gold medal in women's doubles yesterday alongside Jill Braverman. She will play for a gold medal in mixed doubles as well alongside brother JW. So Jorja Johnson potentially in line for a triple crown here in Sacramento.
Yeah, and that's she might be young, but she has experience. I mean, we've seen Jorja around for a number of years. And right now, she's playing extremely well and exceptionally good pickleball.
What impresses you the most about Jorja Johnson's game?
Time in.
That she's got a mature head on her shoulder, and she's smart out there on the court. She's not just relying on sheer power.
Are you saying you weren't mature at 17, Chad?
I'm not even going to answer that one.
Yeah.
Johnson wasn't in the tape. I thought you were going to say you weren't even mature now.
Let's not go there.
9-11.
Side out of the timeout.
Side out.
Trading side outs, point for Johnson. It's 12-9.
Yeah, and that's the last thing Megan Fudge needs right now. She's got to get the side out and at least get one on her paddle, on her serve. The rally scoring. Can't just continue to trade.
Ooh,
side out.
Just a little too much there on that backhand, but Johnson is starting to take her approach shots more to the backhand of Fudge.
Oh, gets loose on a forehand and a backhand and giving Megan Fudge a free point right there.
Johnson leaving the door open for Fudge here in game number 2.
Side out. Point 13.
That's 2 on that backhand side that Megan Fudge has just gotten short on and into the net. 2 free points there for Johnson as she regains the 2-point lead.
Is it something that Johnson is doing to target that backhand, or is Fudge just making an error?
Some forced errors right there.
Fudge finds an angle for the winner.
And that's an excellent close there from Fudge. She doubled up on the backhand side of Jorja Johnson, gets that volley to pop up just enough that she can create the angle, go back cross court.
Well played by Johnson. Gets back on serve for championship point.
Yeah, it's a good job by Jorja Johnson again, choosing the right time to come in.
14-12, Jorja Johnson serving for the gold medal.
Oh, just tries to bump it over the net, catches the net cord. Excellent ball from Fudge there on the run on the backhand side. Doesn't give Johnson any pace.
Fudge converts in a pressure moment, and she gets back on serve.
Huge point right here.
It goes the way of Fudge. Back-to-back points, and now Megan Fudge back even at 14-all.
Talk about huge points, and it's the rally scoring that makes them huge, because if you give that back up, then Jorja Johnson serving for the match again.
Again, the pressure from Fudge is putting a little bit of timing difficulties there for Johnson. Trying to just sneak that over the net, keep it low.
Jorja Johnson has called a timeout as Megan Fudge has ripped off 3 straight points to give herself game point at 15-14. And you go back to that point at 14-12 where Johnson just tried to put it over the net with a touch and came up short, and she's been rattled ever since.
So there's that one, and then there's this last one. If you watch the replay of Megan Fudge on that ball right there, the body language, as soon as it hit the net, she almost let up and then realized it was sitting on top of the net, and then it drops back over. But again, right now you flip it, and now all of a sudden Megan Fudge has a game point as she fought off a match point, and now she's got a game point for herself.
How does Johnson regroup here after giving up those 3 straight?
Oh, she's just got to slow herself back down, not try to rush those strokes. Fudge has done a good job of using that cut forehand on the approach. That ball's not coming up as high. So with Johnson hitting a little bit more flatter ball.
Oh, Johnson trips. And an unfortunate end to game number 2 for Jorja Johnson as she trips over her own feet. Megan Fudge runs off 4 straight points to take game 2, 16-14. We will head to a winner-take-all game 3 here in the women's singles gold medal match to open championship Sunday at the APP Sacramento Open.
Nothing brings us together like Eggland's best eggs. We love the taste, always so fresh and delicious, plus superior nutrition. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
One point away from falling in straight games here in this women's singles gold medal match. Megan Fudge ran off 3 straight points to take game 2, 16-14, and force a winner-take-all game 3.
Yeah, and it's the approach and the double up on the backhands here of Jorja Johnson that has enabled Fudge to get up and control that kitchen line. Done an excellent job once she's up there of creating the angle and kind of taking away that big cut on the volley and just sticking it instead.
Well, and two, you talked about it and hit a little bit, Chad, of her looping forehands now and her looping serve. She's using that to push Jorja Johnson back behind the baseline, keep her back, not allow her to come up because that ball's deep and it's kicking on her.
Fudge looking for her 7th gold medal over the last 2 seasons. She will serve to start this game 3.
Well, I would say that's a pretty good return to start out right there.
Grip and rip.
Short, sharp angle. Pulls Fudge out wide, opens the court up. Nice 1-2. Oh, that's too good.
Oh, what a shot from Fudge.
Doubles up on the forehand side. Jorja Johnson closes this off, thinking she's going to go back to the backhand.
Fudge pushes it just a little wide.
And it's a good approach there from Johnson. Adds a little bit of dip to that backhand.
2-1.
Gets that ball low to the backhand side of Fudge.
Point.
Just wide.
Playing that off the short
That's
hop coming in.
Difficult pickup right there.
And she made it look easy.
She controlled it perfectly, hit it exactly where she wanted.
I don't see a ton of half volleys in pickleball. Big forehand sweep winner from Johnson. It's a 3-point lead.
We see Fudge looking back at the court there. It's like the ball took somewhat of an awkward bounce right there on the backhand side.
So that short ball off the tape almost forces Megan Fudge to have to come in because you can't retreat because you're already up there.
2-4.
Forces Johnson to try and go with the winner and goes wide.
Fudge still within 2 here in game number 3. Make it back within 1 as Johnson can't make the return.
Just trying to run through that return there.
3-4.
Doesn't get a good swing on the backhand side. Ends up cutting it short.
Another backhand error, and we're tied at 4.
She's just getting too loose right now, right? And Chad's over here mimicking the wrist action.
Right,
she's just getting really loose right now. And almost again. Well, not almost. She did.
And it gives Fudge her first lead of game number 3 at 5-4.
We are going to see a steady stream of balls coming from Megan Fudge to the backhand side of Jorja Johnson.
6-4.
That's 5 unforced errors in a row.
Ooh, just keeps it in.
That's a response.
Took a little bit of pace off of that overhead because once it got behind us, so easy to miss that ball deep.
5-6.
5-6.
Ball was deep. You know, we're seeing a little too much wrist snap from Johnson right now. She's not getting the extension on that backhand side.
Talk about wanting to be loose, but you don't want to be too loose right here. Still got to play within your game.
Another backhand error at the end change. Fudge is up by 3, 8-5. And Fudge looking to take control of this winner-take-all game 3 here in the women's singles gold medal match. And a reminder to check out pickleballsuperstore.com via the QR code on the screen to get your instant discount. Women's singles starting us off here on Championship Sunday at the APP Sacramento Open. Men's singles to follow, ending with mixed doubles. This one has been a treat to watch, fellas. Fudge taking control here in game number 3, but Johnson, we've seen that backhand break down. How does she reestablish that backhand and get herself back into game 3?
Well, Chad's talking about it getting too loose, right? She's getting very loose with that wrist, and what it's causing is causing unforced errors. She needs to be a little stiffer with that, a little more controlled, and then pick her spots when she's coming in. And two, I'd like to see her maybe go a little shorter, right? Not with her swing, but with her balls, and making them in the transition area, forcing Fudge to come up, because she's had some success when Fudge came to the net of passing her or causing some errors.
Fudge still on serve, leading 8-5. Johnson won the first 15-12. Fudge took the second 16-14. The end change, Johnson runs Fudge across the court.
It's a good adjustment out of the end change there from Johnson. She's extending through the ball a little bit more, getting some depth. She went deep to the backhand side of Fudge, took a forehand deep to the other corner, and then followed behind it, took control of that kitchen line again. I think she just needs to settle down and not try to rush these strokes right now.
Overhead put away, back within 1, and it really felt until that missed return at 14-12 that Johnson had been in total control of this match ever since it was 4-0 in game number 1.
7-8.
Trying to battle her way back here in game 3. Johnson again, finding space deep in the corner to tie it up at 8.
Again, it's tough right there as Fudge tries to go to that forehand side. Instead of trying to pull that possibly cross court, she goes to the forehand side, but she's already on that same exact sideline. She's exposed cross court. Tough to run that down.
8-8.
3 straight points for Jorja Johnson out of the end change.
That one timing off just a little bit, but she has made that adjustment of extending more through the backhand. That one just got a little close to the body.
Side out.
Fudge makes the forehand error, side out, 9-all.
She mouths to her bench wide open, and I don't disagree with her. If she can get that up and over and keep it low, that shot is open cross court.
Nice deep return there from Fudge. Johnson trying to get around it, hit the inside out forehand.
Fudge the first to 10, 10-9.
Nice volley.
9. Side out, point 10.
Missed third, gives it back over to Johnson. Not going away here in this third game.
Inside out scoring, that doesn't hurt. And rally scoring, that really hurts right there because you got some momentum and now you get her back within 1.
Johnson choosing the right spot to approach there again. And it's that deeper volley, pushing Fudge back out wide and deep on the court. Really opens it up for her.
11-11.
Fourth tie of the third game, 11-all.
Oh, I thought she was going to take it down the line.
We got a perfect view of it, Chad, and we're both like kind of looking, going, oh, she just kind of rolls that down that line. Not rip it, but rolls it down that line. She had an opening.
Johnson takes her first lead since 4-3 as Megan Fudge takes a timeout, finding herself trailing by 1.
Well, one thing that you can say for both of these ladies is that they make their adjustments quickly. Johnson's certainly stepped up, put more pressure on. This is the ball down the line there.
That one. That was the second one. She actually had it twice. We didn't even realize it. Yeah, we realized it was the last one, but she actually had it twice right there. And instead of trying to, you don't want to punish it down the line. She could just hook that back in where it almost starts outside and hooks back into that corner. Those of you guys at home watching right now, that's a shot to work on. Hook that back in over the net post right there.
Easier said than done, Tom. Easier said than done.
Johnson had a match point at 14-12, could not convert. Fudge ran off 3 straight to force this winner-take-all game through. Jorja Johnson already taking home a gold medal in the women's doubles alongside Jill Braverman yesterday. She will play for a gold medal alongside brother JW later this afternoon in the mixed doubles. Already with 3 medals to her name in the early 2024 season, trying to add to that total with a potential triple crown.
I like that backhand and that approach. Extends, keeps it low.
And now Johnson 2 points away.
13-11.
Easy. 2.
And Fudge had that cross-court roll, but Johnson didn't bite on that backhand side as much as she did earlier in the match.
Couldn't make the backhand cut.
I think we've been here before.
Yes, we have. Jorja got a little fancy there and tried to cut that and spin around before finishing that volley.
Misdirection from Fudge. Easy overhead put away. It brings up championship point. Fudge can't make the forehand cut. Gives the serve back over to Johnson.
Which as she did earlier in the match.
Deja vu.
Well, Fudge did the same.
15-12, 16-14, 15-13 to capture the women's singles gold medal.
That's a good get right there at the end from Jorja Johnson. Fudge hit a good ball, but she goes and uses the whole paddle, drops.
Fudge can't make the forehand cut, gives the serve back over to Johnson. It will be championship point, 14-13. Fudge 15-12, 16-14, 15-13 to capture the women's. We'll hear.
15 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
My name is Chef Jamoke Jackson. I'm here with Vlasic Pickles, and I'm putting the pickle back in pickleball. In pickleball, a chop is a slice from high to low to put a backspin on the pickleball. I'm chopping up Vlasic Pickles to make this sweet and savory chopped pickle salad. Feta cheese, Kalamata olives, olive oil, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, sugar, black pepper, toss to mix. Sweet, heat, and full of flavor.
The APP is sponsored by AARP, helping your health and happiness live as long as you do. Power Plate, official warm-up and recovery partner of the APP Tour. And Tervis, the original insulated tumbler.
Match point here for Jorja Johnson, taking home the gold over Megan Fudge, Chad.
Well, it was the adjustment of the Johnson backhand. We saw her add a little bit of angle there, pull Fudge out wide, and then the court coverage and the finishing volley really put it forward for Johnson and the big-time adjustment. We're going to throw it down to Dorian Kraft with our Franklin post-match interview.
I'm here with our women's singles gold medalist, Jorja Johnson. Everyone give it up one more time for Jorja. Jorja, congratulations. We saw you make the adjustment, really starting to go deep in those corners. What was the strategy, especially there in Game 3 against Megan?
Yeah, I was just trying to make her move as much as possible. She's got great passing shots, so I knew if I wanted to come in, I had to hit a good approach shot, and then I started to overhit a little bit, so I had to remind myself that if I make the ball, it helps.
You had a championship point in Game 2 at 14-12. You missed it. Megan ran off 3 straight. You had a similar situation in Game 3. How did you mentally reset to make sure that didn't happen again and take the championship?
I was just trying to remind myself that, you know, I had the lead and you know, just hit my shots and not worry about the score.
You make it sound so simple. This is your second gold medal of the tournament. You're going to be on this court for one more, Jorja. Congratulations. Ken Herman, the founder of the APP, to give you your gold medal. Everyone, once again, your women's singles gold medalist, Jorja Johnson.
Well, Jorja Johnson played clean. It was a battle, though, Chad. It was give and take both ways. It looked like Megan Fudge had some momentum, but Jorja comes out on top.
Yeah, good adjustments from Fudge to fight her way back into that, take Game 2, and then was really punishing that backhand side of Johnson. That's where the errors were coming from, but she makes the adjustment, goes back, really creates some opportunities, and takes that gold.
Well, congratulations, Jorja Johnson. She is your women's pro singles champion here at the APP Sacramento Open. We'll take a quick break. Men's pro singles gold medal match next here at the APP Sacramento Open.